Hello there, Facebook family, YouTube family. This is Johnny Mimicals. I'm going live today. So, this is the fourth installment of why you should check it out. Are you a jazz lover? You like hard bop jazz, avant-garde jazz? Well, this person I'm going to talk about today is world renowned. His name is Miles Dewey Davis. Miles, one of the best jazz artists of all times. Miles was born in 1926, Illinois, died in 91 in New York. When you think of the sound of Miles Davis, what comes to your mind? Very genius, very well put together. In 1944, at the age of 18, he started with the Charlie Parker Sextet. And there he began to become known in the New York circuit as a great young trumpeter. He played with him for 3 years, and then in 48, 49, he started to move into traditional jazz. He met it with some of the jazz giants such as Dizzy Gillespie. He also did music with so many other artists. It's too many to name. But what a great player he was. Now, Miles wanted to not stay with straight contemporary jazz, so he ventured into other genres. Bebop, hip hop, you name it, he probably was in it. He had so many albums with his playing different styles of music. He played 39 live albums, he did 61 studio albums, had many appearances worldwide. In 1959, between the months of January and March, he produced one of the greatest albums of all time when it comes to straight jazz. You know what album it is? Kinda Blue. Freddie Freeloader, So What? And all the other great songs on that album just blew people away. And till this day, it's considered one of the greatest jazz albums of all time. Around the year 1980, and before that, he started to divulge in jazz fusion. What is jazz fusion? Well, jazz fusion is when you take the genre of straight jazz and add hip hop beats to it, or electronics. He had moved into doing electronic music when Miles Davis was with him. When Herbie Hancock joined his band, he told Herbie, "Hey, you play that right over there." Herbie said, "What is that?" He said, "It's an electric synthesizer." That introduced Herbie to playing not just straight piano, but other instruments of the keyboard nature. And that also helped Herbie's career to blow up too. But Miles did jazz fusion in the 70s. Into the 80s, he started doing music that dealt with hip-hop beats. He also did compilations of little classical music. But he was a serious jazz artist. Miles Dewey Davis. Miles is like a lot of the musicians around that time, and even today, had trouble with his life. He did drugs. The way he treated women was terrible. But besides that, I'm not focusing on that in this episode. I'm just focusing on his genius as a jazz trumpeter. He famously turned his back to the audience. It's not like he was being disrespectful, but he was a little shy. And you can understand why he may have wanted to do that, turn his back on the audience. But he did it. But many people weren't offended by that. They came to listen to him play and his compilations. He had the great Marcus Miller, the bassist in his band. He introduced a lot of people to music. He had the saxophonist Kenny Garrett in his band. He discovered him, and he toured with Miles during the 80s. He has so many different artists come across his path that played with him. The sax player, can't think of his name right now. Anyway, he played with Weather Report. He played with him. John Jones played with him. It was just so many people played with Miles. So Miles definitely is up there when it comes to the great artists of our time. So in conclusion, if you ever want to hear Miles play some nice jazz, check out Kinda Blue, check out Porgy and Bess, and other albums that he did. Miles Dewey Davis. So this is episode 4 of why you should check it out. I will be bringing another episode soon as I can get the time, because I've been busy. I'm on my way to work right now. It's all the way live. This is Johnny Mims, Facebook family. Thanks for listening and looking at my posts. Appreciate your subscribing and checking me out. I just have fun doing it. Have a good day. Bye.